Hi, this is Beebee. My dog Ruby is snoring next to me, and this is Hustle Cat. We are trying to resolve some issues with Mason. We are making her open up, which she's clearly reticent to do, but she can't escape the black hole that is Avery's empathy. I don't know if that made any sense, but we're just gonna power through. We say, I'm sure he would talk to you. This is about her grandpa. He would close the store for lunch, or he could close the store for lunch, or I could cover the counter for him. I'm sure he'd make time for his, no, he doesn't want to see me, she says. What? Why? It's none of your business. Just don't go. Come on, Mason. She says, We say, I care about you a lot and I want to help you, or at least be there for you. But it's really hard when you won't tell me anything. I reach over to put my hand on hers. She's going to pull away any second, I know it. But she doesn't. You said it was nice someone wasn't afraid of you, we say, so here I am, not being afraid. Prying. I'm super nosy. I want to know more about you. I slip my fingers between hers. She looks away, but tentatively locks her fingers with mine. She says, we used to be close. Me and her? Oh, her grandpa, of course. Wait, she's actually talking about it. I squeeze her hand in encouragement. She says, grew up with him, right above that corner store. We'd bake for the store together. It was nice. When I got older, we stopped talking. Thinking he didn't know what to do with a teenager. Maybe I reminded him too much of my mom. It all just turned into fights. That's all we did after a while. I am not a fan of the coloration in this particular picture because she's dark-skinned. She's as dark as we are in like the normal shots, but in this one she looks pretty white, which is unfortunate. As I mentioned at the beginning of the game, like the dark skin tones don't really come through. They're not really given a lot of like richness and color, which is unfortunate because it looks like a good number of the cast are intended to be people of color, or like at least darker people of color as opposed to like lighter skin, but it just doesn't show very well because of the colors that they picked. Anyway, Mason says, it just turned into fights. That's all we did after a while. I started skipping school, making bad friends, getting into bad stuff, and he's not stupid, he knew. She says, we got in a real bad one and I just left, just took my stuff and left. We say, oh Mason, I'm so sorry. She says, it is what it is, can't change the past. Drifted for a while, then I thought, the hell with this, I'm going to show him wrong and get a real job, so I came here. And I love it, but it's hard to come back, you know. I can't talk to him like that. Went to check in on him one day. He was so lonely, real happy to have some company. Started talking to me, cat me more than he had to human me. First it was about his day, achy knees, what a customer said, but later it was me, said he missed me, but it was too late. I want to stay with him whatever way I can, even if it's as a stray cat. We say, if he said he misses you, couldn't you talk to him? She says, it's not that simple. You saw how mad he got when he said you're my friend. We say, oh, you saw that? You know, I think he misses me like I'm already lost, she says. It's fine, I can look after him like this. Better than what we could have had if I was human. Not gonna try to change it, can't afford to lose it. She pulls her hand away and shoves it back into her pocket. It's a shame. Her hands were rough but warm. Oh, are you waking up? Hi. Well, hello. Do you have something to say? Here, come talk to the camera. Oh, goodness. She goes ragdoll when she doesn't want me to move her. Come here, say hi. Say hi. Say something. Say hi? No? Sometimes she talks a little bit, but she's not doing it today. Not like people talks, but she kind of grumbles, which is really hilarious. Alright, well, if you don't want to say nothing, I gotta read. Thank you. That was a good... That'll turn up in the audio. Yes. Oh. What's that? That's right. That's what I thought. She says, don't know what else to do. I should stick to cooking. At least I'm good at that. We say, I think you're good at more than that. She says, better get back to work. Hazel burned the kitchen down. We say, is he really that bad? She says, not as bad as you. Hey! She does the unbelievable. She cracks a smile. With a pat on my shoulder, she heads upstairs. I hear the creaking of each step, but the noise stops at the top. Avery, she says. Yeah? Thanks for listening. Anytime, Mason. Aw, it's very good. She keeps the menu simple, but these little tea sandwiches are delicious. She fixes one for me, and I shovel it into my gaping maw during my break. She even gives me those little sugar snap pea chips that I like. I salvage what I can of the day, but I'm mixing up orders while I think about Mason and her grandpa. She thinks it's unfixable, but that can't be the case. I know I'm being nosy. I should just leave her to her business, but I continue messing up orders as I think up a plan. My tips suffered a lot today, but I think I've got an idea that'll make it worth it. Did Mason stick around? I bet she didn't. Sure enough, she left without much as a word. Hold on. She left without as much of a word. Is not what they intended to write. We made a few steps forward in communication, but there's bound to be some tripping. Hayes handles kitchen cleanup. I know he offered because things are still weird with me and Mason. Good, that clears the front for the next stage of my plan. Like a secret agent, I slip upstairs and pull out the chocolate cake I've been eyeing all day. Mason considers it her specialty. I consider it heaven. Step 1, I box up a piece of cake. Step 1.5, I box up a second piece. You know, for me. Consider it my finder's fee if this plan works. If not, it's my preemptive consolation prize. You don't need an excuse. Go hog wild, baby. I shove the boxes into a to-go bag, then dump a fistful of menus on top. That's step 2, by the way. Then step 3, be cool. You're setting yourself up for failure. That'd be the hardest step so far. I finish up my closing chores and scurry home. I take the other way home, the one that doesn't put me past the corner store. Don't want to invade anyone's space, not yet. Step 4, try to sleep. That turns out to be harder than the last step. I can't stop thinking about Mason. Maybe I'm meddling too much? But anything's going to be better than what they're doing now. Neither one of them are going to take the first step. This has to be the right thing. Step 5, sleep in. I do that part real well. I don't process my alarm until the 3rd time it goes off. Good thing the cafe is lax about attendance. Anyway, it's part of the plan, I promise. It doesn't work for you because you have hands and a phone. The reason they're lax is because everyone else is a fucking cat, my dude. I eat my slice of cake for breakfast. You know, gotta make sure it's still good the next day. Trust me, it is. So that's step whatever. The highest my number of steps gets, the higher the number of steps. Hold on. The higher my number of steps gets, the more my heart pounds. I really hope this works. We nailed it. Okay, the actual step 6. Once I'm 100% sure Mason's left for work. That was the sleeping in part, see? I slip into the corner store. Sure enough, her grandpa's there reading the paper. He glances up but scowls and returns to the sports page. Here goes nothing. We say, so, we got off on a bad foot the other day. I wanted to clear things up. He says, what do you care about some old man's opinion? Don't care about you one way or another. We say, but I care about what you think I'm doing, what you think Mason's doing. I can see where Mason gets that glower from. It sends a chill down my spine. He says, get out. I can do this. I can stand my ground. Yeah, what's he gonna do? We say, okay, I will. I just wanted to give you something first. It's from her. From our work. I put the to-go bag on the counter and scoot it towards him. It's from yesterday, so the icing's a little crunchy, but it's still good. I should know. I had some. Not from that piece, of course. I included some menus if you want to see what we do. It's a cat cafe. If you like strays, you might like our cats, too. I've deflected his glare from me to the to-go bag. He's staring so hard I think it might catch fire. I put the menu next to the bag, but he doesn't move. He says, His gaze sneaks over to the menu. I guess it's time to enact step 7. Withdraw coolly. Cool is not a word that's gonna work for you, kiddo. We say, okay, that's all. I'll go now, like you said. Bye. Toodles. Yep, that was cool. No use worrying anymore, I guess. I completed my big plan. The final step is to see what happens. I wonder what he's thinking. Is he happy that Mason's got a good job now? Does it matter if he's still mad? I hope I did the right thing. Probably not, but you know what? Such c'est la vie. Reese and Landry's heads snap up as they hear the door. Oh, Avery, thank goodness. I was worried something had happened to you. Landry's such a good kid. I feel really bad. Reese says 2 tardy workers in a week. I'll have to talk to Graves about tightening that absence policy. I will put you in the trash. I will do it. I can pick you up and dunk you. Landry says, it's no big deal, Reese, as long as nothing happened. You okay, Avery? We say, yeah, sorry. I slept through my alarm, but I'm here and ready to go. Well, it's not entirely a lie, right? Mason's here, right? We say, everything okay? Landry says, yeah, I thought she was getting sick yesterday, but she said she feels fine. She's making some amazing pumpkin soup today. You should try it. Reese says, don't dip your grubby paws into the stock pot until you're on break. We say, yeah. Beyond that initial fuss, it's a quiet day. I'm making it feel 10 million times longer by spending my time staring at the door. Is he gonna show up? Is Mason gonna get mad if he does? Ugh! Marina says meow. We scream. I was so distracted I almost tripped over Marina. At least she's looking out when I'm not. Sorry, buddy. I give her some extra catnip as an apology, but I should know by now that starts a feeding frenzy around these parts. Before I know it, I'm up to my neck in cats. The first time this was the first time it had happened to me. I was at a rest stop, because we traveled a lot for powwows and stuff when I was a kid. And I had a cookie, and I stepped out of the car, and I threw a piece to a seagull, because there was just one little seagull. And all of a sudden, I was surrounded by seagulls, like at least 20, if not more. And I was little, and I was like, this is the end. This is how I die. I was like screaming. My parents had to come save me. It was very good. Anyway, Hash Browns is practically climbing up my pants to get the jar out of my hands. Then I hear it. The door. I nearly dropped the jar. It's him! He actually came! I'm so excited! I'm so nervous! I slammed the catnip jar on the table and wade through the circling cats to get to the door before Landry. Welcome, sir. I'm happy to see you. He says, just coffee. You got it. Here, come take a seat, kick up your heels and relax, we say. He doesn't do the last part, but he at least follows me to the seat closest to the kitchen and settles in. We say, what kind of coffee would you like? We have all sorts of varieties, compliments of our barista. Would you like espresso, cappuccinos, flat whites, mochachinos, puncaccinos? I still don't know much about coffee, and I'm nervous, okay, so I rambled a bit. He says, just coffee, nothing fancy. We say, you got it, sir. It's on the house, by the way. Family discount. He says, in that case, give me that soup, too, the special. We say, coming right up. Get greedy, why don't you? I bound into the kitchen like I'm breaking up a wedding at the end of a rom-com. I want to tell her so bad. Don't run in my kitchen, she says. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna bite me? We say, I'm sorry, just a little wound up. We've got a special guest. She'd never live that down if it was me. That's the problem. Mason says, don't care about celebrities. We say, oh, it's something different. You'll see. She says, order up. Okay, thanks, bye. I grab the tray and careen back onto the floor. Careen is a good word. Mason's grandpa barely even looks up when I set the coffee and soup before him. It's a shame. I put a real good flourish on it, too. He does notice that I can't stop staring at him as he sips his coffee. He says, close your mouth unless you want to catch flies. Aha, right. She said the same thing to us at the very beginning. Like before, haha, I busy myself by aggressively cleaning all the tables around him. He stares at first, but gets used to it and ignores me. He's just silently eating soup with a stone-faced stare into the distance. Is he watching the cats? I'm going to pretend he's watching the cats. When I see him push the bowl away, I pounce. So, what did you think? Tastes familiar, he says. We say, well, that's great. I'll get the chef so you can pay her compliments to her. He's like, I don't stick around to hear him object. Oh, Mason! Hey, Mason! She says, what? I'm right here. We say, oh, okay, so a customer wants to talk to you about the food, of course. She says, what, they got a problem? Ain't no problems with my cooking. We say, no, I think he liked it. Come on. We're about to have a big drama moment in the next episode. Cliffhanger. See you then. Bye, 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 bye.